Okay, so there are many things that we can do. If you, now we're speaking about overproduction specifically. How do we stop overproducing, producing too much clothes? One way, and that's something that I work for a company called Unspun, by the way. We're a US-based fashion tech company, and not saying we have all the answers, but definitely a piece of the puzzle. We are proposing on-demand production model that's also localized, so producing in the US, in Europe, in the Euromed area, even in Asia, but just the idea is that the clothes that get purchased get made closer to the customer, because if you do that, you can more easily manage your inventory levels because you don't have these 18-month-long lead times. I always think about it this way, like the fashion supply chain is so complex, and that's why it's so hard to change it. How a pair of jeans is made, or a pair of jeans is made these days, or just in one specific scenario, because the US grows cotton, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the US textile industry has, it died. Hopefully now it's starting to revive again with push from legislation and all of those things, investment. But a pair of cotton is grown, say, in North Carolina, but then the US doesn't have the facilities to process that cotton. So then they ship it to China to get spun into slivers. But then the companies don't want to buy like any like cotton, say, that's like made in China. There's some forced labor issues, etc. So that cotton would get exported to India, get woven into fabric, but then in Bangladesh is the cheapest labor, so then it will go to Bangladesh, and then there it will get sewn into a product, shipped back to the US, and then sold to the US market.
Wow.
So can you just think, like, not even on, just in terms of like the logistics, the
Fuel.
shipment, how can you, it's so messed up. There's so many steps of the supply chain, and in those steps, like not even getting into labor, but everyone needs to get paid. Like it's hands, it's people that are working on these products, and then you want to buy your pair of jeans for $30 from a retailer.
Sure. I'm just seeing so many levels of wrong things.
Yes.
Number one, people think that they're avoiding slave labor because they don't do it in Xinjiang, but they do it in India, which is very questionable. Then, of course, the fact that you spend fuel just taking those pieces everywhere.
A lot of carbon emissions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, well, look, I'm a capitalist. I have a weird point of view. So I would even be okay with people having low wages, as long as maybe because sometimes they don't have other options as those low wages. But there are people that don't believe in low wages, and they just close their eyes and ignore the fact that the Levi's they have are probably follow that cycle that you described. Wow.
Yeah.
So that's normally the way it goes.
That's normally the way it goes for. I mean, obviously the cotton is grown everywhere, like production happens everywhere, but that's just one stark like global supply chain. So coming back to Unspun, what we are trying to do is basically automate and localize these supply chains so that it doesn't have to be that complicated. And how we're going to do that is by 3D weaving. So 3D weaving is the thing that we have built.
3D weaving is the thing, but before to get to 3D weaving, I don't want to cut you, but before you were doing something different.
Yes.
Before you were doing the let's say the custom fit, which was how I encountered Unspun, what you were doing when we did the podcast 3 years ago.
Okay, so anyways, the 3D weaving and the custom fit jeans, they fit together. Sorry, I was talking about on-demand production. So in order to reduce waste from the supply chains, we believe that you need to produce on demand. So that means you're going to produce close to your customer, and you're going to produce only after the customer has ordered. So you operate on kind of a zero finished goods inventory business model, which is going to be good for the business. And it's obviously just, you can still sell goods, but you just produce them as they come in. another issue, and I'm going to come back to the jeans, but so that's the first problem, is the overproduction. Then another issue is the fit. So people buy goods online now and they send them back. Because they don't fit. About a fifth of all products that are purchased online are returned.
1/5.
Yeah, 1/5 of all products returned online, and we can put the research in your notes if anyone wants to go and read or fact check.
If you have them, absolutely yes.
I have them. Yes,
Yes.
I have them. So
Link in the description.
link in the description. European Environment Agency. So a fifth of all products bought online are returned due to poor fit, mostly poor fit. About 70% is due to poor fit. And then of that fifth that's returned, because it costs, if you think about how complex the supply chain life cycle is, it costs the companies up to 75% of the product's value to put it back into the system. So what are they going to do?
They throw it away.
Yeah, they either, they say like recycling, but if you take a product that's unused and you send it to be shredded and made into a new product, like you're destroying it, right? Like you're using resources for anyway, it's messed up. So a percentage of those returned items, about a third, so it's obviously brands don't want to disclose the numbers, but it's between 22% to 43% of all the returned items are destroyed, landfilled, incinerated, or recycled.
So
that's the clothes that we wear.
No, but I just realized I'm very old. I only returned one thing, and they were they no. I look, honestly, I'm not virtue signaling. I know it can be hideous, and it's not. I'm just literally, in awe of what you're saying. I was trying to buy one pair of the shoes. I think Guido has them. The Nike shoes, the general purpose shoes.
So
exactly. I tried to buy them in any way, shape, or form. I finally got a hands on a pair with a decent price. I got them here. They were one number, and I was heartbroken. And that was the only time I had to. I gave them back. But I'm too lazy to give people. People are so proactive. Like, you need to pack everything, call the guy, wait for him. It's like, I don't know. I thought that people would just buy go to the shop, try things, take a picture of the size, and then buy it online. But they don't. They just buy and return.